You're watching Personal Finance with Coach Kelvin. Let's get into the video. Hey guys, Coach Kelvin here. Today I want to take you through an Australian brokerage platform which you can use to trade United States stocks during the US trading hours. So you can see here that we've got 11 hours until the US market opens. So that's basically a nice little wait. It means we also get a chance to trade during the night time when the Australian stock market is actually closed. So with Stake, this is basically a free brokerage platform. They don't charge you any fees to trade. You only pay the foreign exchange fees. So when you send money in, then you pay the fees to transfer from Australian dollars to United States dollars. That's it. It's really cool because with Stake, you don't pay any membership fees or anything like that if you want to use a free plan, and it's very simple to hold. Now, I don't have very much money in here. I literally have 2 holdings only, and the total value is $69.26. I used a little bit of money to do a sign-up bonus to join. You get a free stock when you do so, but I haven't actively chased this because I do most of my trading of US shares through an Australian ETF. So I don't hold individual companies. I hold the whole market through VTS, which I buy through Self-Wealth. But anyway, if you're here in Australia and you're looking to buy United States stocks, you can do this through a platform such as Stake. It's very efficient. It doesn't have any brokerage fees per trade, and I really like it because it's simple and user friendly. So we're going to come over here to Watchlist. Now this is really cool. You just basically put any companies you have interest in a list, and you can watch the day movement. You can have a look at basically any of the charting over a period of time. So we'll just pick a random company and we'll go to it. Let's go down to Berkshire Hathaway. This is a very famous one, Warren Buffett's own fund. Everybody knows about it, and look at this, $418,000. That is absolutely ridiculous, but there you go. So this is a fund where basically they don't pay any dividends. They retain all of their earnings and they just do share buybacks to increase the value of the holdings. Alright, so here we've got the chart for the day, but of course we can adjust this by coming up to months, years, 3 years. So let's look at this. As you can see, during 2020, about February, March, we had that significant drop where the fund actually came down to just over $250,000. It's then steadily climbed back up to all-time highs here at about $430,000, which is absolutely crazy. Now, Berkshire Hathaway is obviously a great example because you can see a lot of fluctuations here as Warren Buffett and his team has bought and sold shares. But they actually didn't do much buying or selling during this bottom period of the market, and only started really buying around about August, July. Okay, so they were holding cash until then. Now, you can find related articles to a lot of the holdings that you're looking at. Stake has a bit of news on here as well, so it's pretty interesting to see. Now, if we go over to this tab, Wall Street, this is quite interesting because it gives you some options in order to basically see what markets are moving, what every indice is doing, and then you can also find different tabs to give you some trading strategies. So I'll show you that. Alright, you can see these companies are some of the biggest movers of the day. Sentinel-1 up 393%, that's insane. So you've got your most up and most down companies for the day. It's pretty interesting to see what's moving and what's not. Very cool. Alright, so we've got some strategies here. So you can come up to high-paying dividends, short the market, upcoming earnings, new listings on Stake, high volatility, trending tech. So let's do my favorite, high-paying dividends. So when we look at these companies, they all have a fairly strong dividend yield. You're looking at the share price, the day's change, and then how many shares are basically traded for that day. So some companies you may all be quite familiar with: Exxon Mobil, Southern Copper Corp, and there will be many others down here, okay? So they're some of the biggest movers for the day. Now we can obviously change our filters and look for other things or certain industries, but let's have a look on Exxon Mobil. So the share price has been pretty steady for today. If we look at the year change, obviously we had a huge drop in the oil price last year and it's steadily climbed back up since. That affects this type of business a lot. Now, the dividend yield is 5.56%, which is a phenomenal result for an American company, which tend to have a lower dividend payout ratio than Australian companies. However, understand that just chasing dividends is not always the best strategy, especially if you're already in a high earning bracket when it comes to taxes. Now, it gives you a rating of what analysts suggest. So most people are saying buy, some people are saying hold, nobody is saying sell Exxon Mobil. Yeah, very cool. Now, something else that's really cool with Stake is they actually do a referral bonus. So if we come down here to get free stock, this actually allows you to invite your friends, and you can simply copy your invite link and send it to them, and that will allow them to sign up. Now, when they do, you get to spin a wheel, and it gives you a chance to earn either of these 3 shares. Now, if you don't want to hold those particular companies, that's completely fine. You just simply sell them, and then you can put that money into another purchase, okay? So I've received 2 GoPro shares through signing up because they are obviously the most common, and it's a random number generation sort of play. I sold one of them to put more money into the holding I have in Brookfield Property Group, but I've since received another one and just let it sit there for the last year. Now, I really do like Stake as a investment platform, but of course, if you would rather buy Australian shares through the same platform as what you're buying your United States shares, well, you're in luck, because Stake has actually recently announced they're looking to introduce their Australian brokerage to the same platform. So eventually you'll be able to buy your Australian shares through Stake, and I'll make a video on that when it happens. But I'm not yet at the point where I understand their pricing structure or how it's going to look. Will it be a custodian or a CHESS sponsored model, etc.? There's not been any details about that yet, so I can't really fill you in on that. Now, it gives you pretty good reporting of all your dividends. So when you get paid a dividend, it shows you the date that it's paid, the value it's paid, and then any taxes you pay on each dividend. So it's pretty interesting to see. I quite like how it's broken down individually into each payment portion instead of just being one lump sum where you can't see the different things. Now, you can get statements for your account, and Stake can actually link into ShareSite as well. If you're using that to track your portfolios, you can just list your shares up on here, and yeah, that helps you out a lot. So guys, Stake is very cool, very simple platform to use. You can add extra accounts to Stake as well if you want to have multiple portfolios but don't want them intermingled. Like, let's say you have your satellite portfolio, which is the more speculative ones, and then your core portfolio, which might just be your ETFs and very safe investment plays. You can download your tax form in order to reduce your tax liability, which is your weight beneath form. And that helps you basically defer any of the foreign taxes you pay in Australia and then also the United States, okay? So I highly recommend checking out Stake if it's something that you're interested in. Now, I believe you can transfer your portfolio to another brokerage or from another brokerage to Stake if you wish to do so. All you need to do is basically find the broker that you're trying to pull your shares from, and then they handle the back end of it. So you just basically come here, you find which one they're listed in. So for example, if I was to be doing this, mine would be listed probably through Self Wealth. Oh, that's not here. Okay, then it might be through CommSec or Westpac or NavTrade, some of the big 4 banks. You can then just simply transfer your United States shares into Stake. Stake works exactly the same way as those big banks do, where it's a custodian model. So the bank holds that share with your name attached to it, but it's not technically tied to your name. Although you can trust that with the Stake model or the custodian model, I must say, that your funds are generally safe in these bigger companies. So you have nothing to worry about. All right, when we come down to our funds and balances, it shows your equity value, your buying power, which is just what I've earned in dividends, and how much you have available for withdrawal as well. What's really cool about this as well is your minimum purchase through Stake is $10, okay? So it's not like a typical Australian brokerage where you have to spend at least $500 for your first purchase. You can start with just $10. The problem, however, with this is to get $10 onto Stake, you pay your foreign exchange fees. So you might need to transfer a bit more than that just to get your $10 of accessibility. I recommend that if you are looking to purchase shares through Stake, you just start with a slightly larger sum anyway, maybe $500, maybe $1,000, just to dip your toes in the water and get started. Although if you don't have that much money to play with, I completely understand, but you want to use Stake, just transfer maybe $50 and start from there, which is what I did to get my bonus shares. So if you use the referral link down in description, you can sign up, and when you deposit $50 Australian, you'll get the foreign exchange fee that the money will land into your stake account, which you can then trade with, and we'll both get a free stock. So I'd appreciate if anyone does actually do that. Stake's a very cool platform and it's completely free, but then if you want to upgrade it to a paid version, you can get a lot more. So $7.50, it's billed annually, so $90. You get instant buying power on all trades, you get buy and sell ratings, price targets, and you get the full company financials and data. So it's actually very efficient. You get a lot of data and information that can help you become a better trader if that's what you wish to do. If we come back down to dashboard, when you upgrade to Stake Black, if you transfer your money, it's not the next day, you can get instant buying power. So you make a transfer and you can immediately play with that money. So as you can see here, it gives you a total change on your investment holding. So the GoPro share that I received at the time, it was $3.54. It's now valued at $11.65. So I've had a return of 229% on this one. My Brookfield property REIT, okay, my average price was $8.74 and now it's valued at $18.95. So I've had a gain of 116.82%. Now I'm not trying to say that I'm a great trader. If I was, I couldn't put it down to anything more than luck, just because of when I put my money in stake was in March or April last year. So when the market was at an all-time low for the last, sort of 2 years. I was very lucky with the timing, and if I wanted to have capitalized on this more, I would have put more money into it, okay? I didn't, so perhaps I'm not the smart investor I wish I was. Alright, lastly, if you're looking for particular companies, you can always come up here and let's say I want to look at Amazon. Shares pop up, you can see what they're doing. You've got the ability to buy if you have at least $10 buying power, so that's really cool. You can buy fractional shares, so even though this is a $3,000 share, if I had $10, I could buy it. And yeah, look at this. It gives you an analyst rating, 100% suggested buy, which I think is a little crazy, especially at today's evaluation. But what am I to say compared to any analyst? They obviously know what they're doing and they research this all the time. But if I was looking to get Amazon exposure, I would just buy a full market tracking index, which holds Amazon. Alright guys, that is Stake. Now if you have any questions about Stake, feel free to hit me up and I'll try and answer and help you out with any of that. If you want to sign up and you use my referral link, I really appreciate that, because we'll both get a free stock out of that, and this can help you get started on your investment journey with your first holding. If you're looking to trade any particular stocks in the United States, don't forget to fill out that tax form that I showed you before in the dashboard, because when you fill that out, that's obviously going to reduce your tax liability on those shareholdings, especially on the dividends or the sale price. Alright guys, thanks for watching. If you got any value, please like, share and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.